Okay, welcome to this special video on how to upload assessment items, particularly if you're using some sort of online word processor such as Google Docs. So in earlier orientation videos we've discussed to upload any assessment items as a Word doc. It's fairly simple. You click on the browse button and then browse off to wherever you've saved that file. The challenge with Google Docs and similar online word processing programs is they don't actually save anything on your computer, so the browse button wouldn't work. So I'm just going to show you a fairly simple process that will allow you to work with Google Docs, save that information on your computer, and then upload it to the assessment website. So just jumping over to my Google Docs just for a moment. Here I have my completed assessment that I'd like to submit for the trainer to have a look at. And as you would know from the earlier orientation videos, I don't just include my answer, I include important information including my name, the unit, the section, activity, and so that would come out and look something like this. That way when the trainer does get those files and we have to archive them later on, it's very easy to find out who owns what document. Now, one thing in Google Docs, when I'm creating my document, by default it'll just give it a generic untitled document name. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this information and click up in the untitled document and right click and paste, and that will now be my document name. That's nice and easily identifiable. So that's, once again, with Google Docs, that's automatically saved. There is no save button as such, but it's not accessible to the trainer or to the e-learning system. So here's what we have to do to make it accessible. Click on the file menu heading, and there's an option to download as, and you need to choose the Microsoft Word .docx option. Now for me, when I do that, it automatically downloads that to my default download location. So depending on how your machine is set up, that will depend on where that location actually is. If there's any doubt at all, what I can do is use this little drop down triangle here and show in folder, and then that actually clearly shows me my file that I'm after. So with that in mind, I now know that it's in my downloads folder. I'm going to go back to my assessment website and I'm going to click the browse button. I know that it was in downloads, and I'll sort by date modified, and there's the file that I'm after. I can click on that and click on open. It'll do a little bit of thinking down here, and as it says here, in a couple of moments that it will be nicely updated. So I'll save on that information there, and remember what I need to do. At this point I can now continue on working. At such a point that I'm ready to actually submit that to the trainer for assessment marking, remember, you go back to the dashboard, you find the appropriate unit that you're working on, and you hit the submit button. Agree to the fact that you've not cheated in your assessment or plagiarized in your assessment. Hit the confirm button, and that's now job done. That's in the hands of the trainer. If I were to go back into this assessment item, I'll still be able to see all my assessment activities and plan to answer them, but I can't actually do any work on the website with them. So if I want to go ahead and start working on these, I would start to draft up my answer in a Word document while I waited for the trainer to return my assessment to me. And once they return my assessment to me, then the whole website gets opened back up and I will be allowed to upload new items. And that's how it goes. It's that easy when you're working with Google Docs. So I hope that helps you.